A young mother develops allergies immediately following the birth of her first child. In the prime time of her life, a young woman begins to experience painful periods, fluid retention, breast tenderness, as well as allergies. A menopausal woman begins to all of a sudden notice new allergy symptoms arising, cropping up with each season. All of these three women are in unique stages of their lives. All three are experiencing a sudden onset of allergies, yet none of them have actually just gone and made geographical changes. So what's the common thread? Hormone imbalances. And in today's episode 5 of SFT TV, I'm going to be breaking down the actual similarities, and say the differences, the similarities, the ties between hormone imbalances and allergies, which begs the question. Do you guys know what it is? I'm waiting. Are you ready? If so, let's do this. Hey guys, I'm Melissa Ramos, nutritionist with a background in Chinese medicine, and I'm also the boss babe of Sexy Food Therapy, helping women feel sexy from the inside out by balancing their hormones and their digestion. Really is my jam. So I want to be able to break down a couple of things about SFT TV. So first and foremost, I'm pretty darn excited about this episode because we are going to be covering quite a bit in a short little window of time. I usually try to keep these live streams about 30 minutes or so. So I'm going to be doing a demo. I'm going to be talking about foods, supplements, doing a giveaway as well. But before we get into all of that, I need you guys to do me a favor right now is please give me some thumbs up, give me some hearts, share this live stream right now with your friends. Please do that right now. I would really, really, really appreciate. And I'd love to know, I've got Chandria, I think I'm saying your name right, Chandria and Leslie saying hello. Awesome. I'd love to know where a lot of you guys are from. Please feel free to interact and engage with me. I'd absolutely adore that. Love to hear from you guys. So if you're listening in right now, please let me know where you are from. That would be awesome. All right. So moving forward, as I mentioned, if you guys could share this this live stream, that would be great. Let's actually dive into some of these allergy things, because a lot of people don't realize that there actually is a connection with hormones, which might surprise quite a few of y'all. And I want to be able to break down a lot of this. I did mention, about women in pivotal points of their lives and how this actually can affect them. And the reason why is because when we have these surges, these hormonal surges, especially estrogen, lowered progesterone in around your perimenopausal, menopausal years, you begin to see this rise in histamine. And histamine essentially is what is happening when we end up getting all these allergy symptoms. So first and foremost, I think a lot of people don't realize is that allergies actually, one of the things that actually can signal them is estrogen can promote the release of histamine. So if you've got PCOS, endometriosis, fibroids, ovarian cysts, let me know right now. Just drop those comments below and let me know if you've got any of those conditions. I'd love to know. Oh, we've got people tuning in. Clearly, Facebook is a little bit behind the times. So I've got Erica. Hey, Erica, I've got a bunch of ballers on here. That's great. Boston, T-Dot. Woohoo. A lot of Toronto people. Anita, Washington, Ontario. Mama B. Yes, F and Iguana. That is me. All right. Can't wait to hear this. Just had to stock up on Benadryl. Oh, I got some good stuff for you, Leslie. San Antonio, Texas. I love my Texans. I got quite a few Texan fans. North Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and Owen Sound. Sweet. So if you have any issues with estrogen dominant type conditions, please let me know. And the reason why is because it promotes the release of histamine, which is kind of crazy. And histamine is essentially the chemical that is responsible for allergies. So believe it or not, mast cells, these cells, they're called mast cells, they actually secrete histamine. And not only in the bowels, but they're also in the ovaries and on the uterus. That kind of might shock some people, but you can actually release histamine from your ovaries and your uterus. And the interesting fact is that histamine actually promotes ovulation but the thing is, I want to say this, is that even though it can promote ovulation and you kind of be like, oh my God, I'm going to get excited, I'm going to go sniff a dandelion. Here's the thing. Even though it promotes ovulation, the really interesting thing to note is that the eggs are actually that are produced are immature, so they're not actually high quality. So that's sort of the thing I definitely want to bring up and say that first and foremost. Okay, I have to keep refreshing my screen, which is a little bit annoying, but we've got a bunch of PCOS followers. So Danielle, Sarah, Christina, Samantha, Judy, Kanchan says undiagnosed endo PCOS symptoms, wicked high estrogen, and now have the allergy issue. So happy you're doing this. Full shizzle. Endo chick here. And that's crazy. Had no idea. It's so true. So it's really nuts how this can actually go down. I'm just going to make sure I go on my actual page, because then I can load up all of your questions without feeling like I have to keep refreshing the page, which is slightly annoying. Anyways, that's actually pretty interesting to note that can be one of the ways that you can have these high levels of histamine levels just surging in the body. So how does this all happen? So clearly during these stages of surges, so PMS, when a woman first gets her period, she's got, that puberty, and you can end up getting this surge of estrogen. And that's really one of the ways, because you've got that estrogen that's surging. Now, I want to say the flip side of it is if when you're going into perimenopause, why on earth would you get high levels of histamine occurring at that stage? Because it does actually happen. And the way to explain this is the relationship between progesterone, okay, and cortisol. So progesterone is another sex hormone that you've got. So you've got estrogen, you've got progesterone. So think of like progesterone being the yin and estrogen being the yang, not yang, yang. So here's a really interesting, cool fact. And maybe it's a cool fact because I'm a total geek about this crap, but I think what's really interesting is that histamine is actually, it is incredibly inflammatory, okay? Incredibly inflammatory. And we know this because we get the sinus issues, like we just feel like poop, right? Cortisol, on the other hand, believe it or not, is an anti-inflammatory. How many of you guys are kind of shocked to hear that? Because I'm pretty sure a lot of people are thinking like cortisol is bad. It's the stress hormone. You don't want cortisol. This is like a bad thing. And I totally get the idea of that. But the reality is it actually is an anti-inflammatory. So what ends up happening, and I'm just pulling up the live stream here, so maybe I can answer this a little bit better. There we go. What's interesting here is that if you are someone who's in flat out adrenal fatigue, like massive adrenal fatigue, what happens is that you've got histamine and cortisol just kind of fighting with each other. And this isn't necessarily a good thing because histamine is essentially, you're trying to get balance from cortisol, which is the anti-inflammatory hormone. But if you have adrenal fatigue, which means that you don't have high levels of cortisol, you have low levels of cortisol. So you don't have that anti-inflammatory properties to counteract the histamine, the massive amounts of inflammation. And what I find really interesting is that women, when they're going through perimenopause, even menopause, especially in menopause, but what happens is, how many of you guys here who are listening in would actually say that you're stressed? People are going, shocked! Oh my God! Okay, so how many of you guys here would consider yourself stressed? Like, let me know right now. And by the way, if you have not done so yet, share this live stream right now. Just click share. Do it for Mama Baller. Okay, so chances are a whole whack of you guys are stressed. So Christina says, extremely stressed all the time. And love in the hearts, by the way. Thank you very much. Kathy says, yep. So a bunch of you guys are super stressed. And I totally, absolutely get it. But here is the dealio. Right in, smacking the truth bomb with you guys. But when you are massively stressed, what happens is, as you get into adrenal fatigue, so not, high cortisol, eventually chronic stress, it crashes. So you get low cortisol, okay? When you get low cortisol, the pain in the butt of that is that your stress hormones compete with your sex hormones, okay? So let me say that again. Your stress hormones compete with your sex hormones, namely progesterone. So now you've got low cortisol levels, so none of this anti-inflammatory hormone, which we all think is bad. Well, I don't think it's bad. Not necessarily. Too much of it, not so good. But it is an anti-inflammatory. So now you've got flatline cortisol levels. Your inflammation is totally up. You've got this histamine coursing in your body. But here is the second piece of this. Are you ready? Second piece of this puzzle is now you've got low progesterone, and by comparison, you don't have this anchor for estrogen. So now the estrogen levels almost seem like they're high by comparison compared to the progesterone. And as we said, estrogen can actually promote the secretion of histamine. So can you see sort of the double whammy? And when you're in menopause, holy heck. So when you're in menopause, your ovaries essentially cease to function. And when your ovaries cease to function, they're like, girl, I'm done. Adrenals, you take over. That's essentially what's happening because your hormonal system is this whole network. It's like a symphony, okay? And when this symphony is happening, the big pain in the butt is that when one stops working accordingly, so the ovaries stop working because you're in menopause, then all of a sudden other people in the band, in the symphony, I should say, not the band, the symphony, have to work a lot harder so that the entire symphony doesn't sound out of tune. That's the best way I can describe it. And because the ovaries stop functioning in menopause, you end up having more work on the adrenals. And if you're already flatlined in cortisol because you've been excess for so long and it crashed, chances are you could very well struggle with a lot of allergies. Okay, so really, really, really important to note. Oh, thank you so much, Lynn, for sharing. I really appreciate it. If you have shared, please let me know. Remember, I am doing a giveaway at the end of this from my sponsor, and I'm thrilled to be able to do this giveaway, but to do the giveaway, you guys got to make sure you're sharing this, okay? So now that we know a little bit about the hormonal connection, so we know that there is a connection with cortisol being flatlined. We know there's a connection with progesterone being very low, and then by comparison, we have estrogen looking elevated. Then add on things like plastics. Plastics, if you're one of those people, anybody here can actually automatically just admit that when they go to work, they throw in their lunch, which is in a plastic container in the microwave to heat it up. Any of y'all doing that right now? Like, comment below because I want to know. My sister shared. Sweet. Cindy shared. Erica, Effinaguan, Catherine says, so is this managed via low anti-inflammatory diet? It's a really good freaking question. So yes, let's talk a little bit about the diet with this, because we certainly have gone through a lot of the hormonal aspects of it, but it's really important to note that we have to look at the gut. This is the second piece of the puzzle. So if you're chronically constipated, for example, if you are eating foods like gluten, sugar, dairy, soy, corn even, then you are adding inflammatory foods to the gut. And this isn't exactly a good thing, okay? Because the gut has to work overtime. And the more that you put in inflammatory foods, so going back to Catherine's question, would an anti-inflammatory diet work? Abso-freaking-lutely. Because if you're eating inflammatory foods, you end up getting these loose junctions in the small intestine where food and toxins begin to pass through into the bloodstream, and your body essentially starts to scream out, "Invader!" And you don't want that. And that's when essentially you're getting a lot of histamine that is produced. We start to see that histamine is produced in large quantities in the actual gut. So this is something that we have to definitely take a look at. Is an anti-inflammatory diet is key. So the first and foremost thing, and I know this is in like one of these bottles, water. I know that this is so freaking basic, guys, but if you're not drinking enough water, is the fastest way to drive histamine levels. If you are dehydrated, if you're thirsty, do you know that if you're thirsty, that you've actually been thirsty for a while, that's actually the last ditch signal for your body to go, hey, listen up. I'm super thirsty for quite a bit. So do you mind just giving me some water? But never, ever, ever have cold water because it hampers the digestive system. Okay, it hampers the digestive process, and it's not a good thing to have. I know I don't like soy at all. I'm totally anti-soy for sure. What do you use instead of soy if you get a Starbucks, for example? So I don't normally get a Starbucks, but if I were to go to Starbucks to get a coffee, which I only have a couple of times a week, because by the way, coffee is very dehydrating. I know a bunch of y'all are going to be like, I'm getting off this girl's live stream. I'm not saying never to have coffee. What I am telling you is that if you're a 2-3 cupper a day and you are suffering wickedly from allergies, coffee dehydrates. So you could be drinking 2 liters of water and you're going to end up getting dehydrated regardless. So if I do get a coffee and I get it on the weekends or so forth, what I end up getting is generally, if I were to go there, they have coconut milk. I'll sometimes get that, or I'll drink a black coffee. But if I do have coffee, I usually make it at home, and I make a buttered coffee. And that way it just produces this like wonderfully smooth, creamy texture, and that's usually what I would end up getting. Okay, I never received oh, you know what? Girl, if you did not receive your winning package, then definitely email my assistant, and we will make sure that my friends over send that to you ASAP, because they're the ones sending it out. Yeah, but if you're using soy, Crystal, it's still it's still so estrogenic. You are flooding your system with hormones. So stay away from that, absolutely. Oh my God, Karen says, I've been without coffee now for 3 months and I don't miss it. I used to have 5 cups a day. Holy cannoli. Said bye-bye to coffee because of you and I feel so much better without it. Sweet. Thank you for sharing. Everyone who's sharing, thank you, thank you, thank you. So first and foremost, we talked a little bit about food. I do want to bring up some food therapy things that you guys can incorporate. Number 1, watercress. Watercress, believe it or not, if you've got allergies, watercress is phenomenal for allergies, okay? So watercress actually inhibits histamine production by over 60%. That's crazy. So really great antihistamine foods are watercress. You're looking at garlic. You're looking at onions. Pea sprouts also are phenomenal as well. Those are really amazing. Turmeric is amazing, but make sure if you ever use turmeric that you're using it with black pepper, and you're also using it with coconut oil. So those are really, really amazing anti-inflammatory type foods. Obviously greens, any green foods are going to be amazing because they also work on the liver. And what am I doing right now? I'm actually taking off my socks because I'm going to be doing a demo. But before I do that, I want to tell you about a couple of foods that actually release histamine. One of which you're not going to like so much because it's so yummy and it's so healthy for you. But if you're really struggling with histamine levels, you got to stay away from avocado. I know this might shock the living pants off you, but avocado is a big one. And the reason why avocado actually releases histamine, and I'm not saying never eat this because avocado is phenomenal for you. It's great fats, loaded with a lot of nutrients as well. But if you really struggle with allergies, this is probably one of the things you want to stay away from in addition to chocolate. And I'm talking even the good kind. And those are kind of the foods that might shock you a little bit. Even orange juice. These foods are all high in something called histidine. And histidine actually promotes the release of histamine. Okay, so we don't want to have that promotion of histamine. And that's one of the things that you have to really think about. Oh, I'm getting a bunch of like sad faces. I'm so sorry, guys. Hell no, not chocolate. Listen, have it just sparingly. I'm just saying if this is something that you eat on a daily, just try to balance it out by maybe not having it as much, okay? From a supplement perspective, obviously we are going to want to include some probiotics. I can't tell you how freaking important it is. I honestly believe probiotics is your non-negotiable for your everyday. You guys know that I'm a huge fan of Natron probiotics. They're the only ones in North America that actually pass European standards, which are really, really high standards for probiotics. And most probiotics, I don't think a lot of people realize, is that they're private labeled. So the companies will essentially pick out probiotics from a generic factory and they just throw these strains into a bottle. And they do test when possible. And I've seen the lingo, and it's kind of a little revolting about it because then they're charging you for a premium. So probiotics are a big one. I love the Healthy Start system. If you have not got these guys, go to natron.com and check them out. So that's definitely one thing is huge. Catherine says probiotics made a huge difference for me. For sure. And this honestly one thing I would suggest people take literally as like, if you're thinking like your multi is something you should take every single day, your probiotics should be your non-negotiable. It's not just after an antibiotic. It's because disease is rooted in the gut. Even hormonal issues, PCOS, endo, cysts, fibroids, all those things, it's all produced in the gut. I wouldn't want to say all produced in the gut, but a majority of it does leave room for the gut because if you're constipated, your hormones are not going to be able to have an avenue for escape. If your liver, which is a part of your digestive system, isn't working properly because it's flooded and it's got a lot to try to process and it can't process it because you've got non-fatty or non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, then there's going to be a really hard time conjugating a lot of estrogen metabolites. So various estrogen metabolites are going to be in excess. And I usually see this in hormonal panels that I offer in consultation. So those are really, really big ones. Where do you get these probiotics? You can get them at natron.com. I know that Whole Foods do sell them. In Toronto, you can get them at the Big Carrot. I know that they sell them as well. I've tried so many products, I haven't found a good one. Casey, girl, I'm telling you, big time. Okay, moving on. Another supplement. I have no affiliation to these guys. I don't know if you guys can see it. Can you see it? Lipospheric vitamin C. Essentially all it is it's called liposomal vitamin C. Now, what it is, they are in these little packages. You see them? And my light's really bright. Okay. These little packages. I've tried several different companies. I do kind of like Live On Labs. Again, no affiliation to these guys. But the reason why that I really, really liked this is because vitamin C, if you take vitamin C capsules, 80% of it you poop out. Like, did you know that? 80% you poo out. So they're kind of expensive vitamins. Liposomal vitamin C, which is this little liquid in a pack, is really cool because you rip the pack open. They say to put it in a bit of water because it tastes super nasty. Not gonna lie. But what I do is I just put it in my mouth, I let it sit there, and then I just chug a bunch of water right after it. Just get her down. But vitamin C actually helps to lower histamine levels. Big time. And vitamin C is a massive anti-inflammatory. Remember, histamine is inflammatory. So really helpful. And if you've got PCOS, endo, ovarian cysts, really darn important, guys, that you actually incorporate some vitamin C because it is an anti-inflammatory. And those conditions I just mentioned are inflammatory type of conditions. So really, really important to note for all of that. Okay. Don't, oh, goodness me, and Healthy Planet carry natron with food. Yes, with food. Yes, chicken is also high in histamine as well. Sucking back a pack right now. Sweet. They are really great, and they're an amazing stress relief. So that is another amazing thing that I would incorporate as an antihistamine. Water, probiotics, vitamin C. And the next one, if you guys are familiar, at least in Canada, can you see that? Come on, focus, 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 focus. There we go. It's happening. So this is Deep Immune, and I know that you can't really see it. Let's try that again. Deep Immune by St. Francis, and again, you so can't see it, but I'm trying here, people. I'm trying. Deep Immune from St. Francis. I know that the bottle's all blown out with light, but this is the one for allergies, which is kind of awesome. And I honestly will tell you that it works amazingly well. And the thing that I really like about this is it contains, when it comes to allergies, you need to do some immune work, okay? And your immune system generally is compromised because there's a leaky gut with people who've got allergies, and there could potentially even be a candida underlying balance because of the fact that digestion is very closely related. So when we think of allergies, it's not like, what pill can I take and get rid of this really fast? Because as Leslie was saying, earlier in this live stream, she was saying, I just stocked up on Benadryl. But the really interesting thing is that the body actually begins to build up a tolerance to antihistamine medication. It builds up a tolerance to it. So essentially, this is until the medication no longer works. So what happens? You're like, okay, it doesn't work anymore, so maybe I'm just going to discontinue it. When you discontinue it, you end up getting this massive rebound effect, and the body becomes flooded with histamine, and the body will continue to actually release very high levels of histamine because it's kind of used to doing, it's essentially used to doing that because it's secreting all this histamine. Now, the interesting thing is that histamine, which is what's producing all these allergies, is actually able to inhibit every neurotransmitter, almost every neurotransmitter in the body. So this is when we start to get brain fog, we start to feel like lethargic, we start to feel depressed even, all because of this inflammatory histamine that's happening. So my approach when looking at histamine and even hormones is, number one, look at the stress levels. If your stress levels are out the roof, the number one way to approach it is making sure that your lifestyle is in check. Try to think, is your self-care, or is it feeling like self-punishment? Remember when you were a kid and your parents said, get up, it's time for school, get up, and you're like, oh, don't wake me up. Or when at night, they're like, go to bed, it's time to go to bed. No, I want to stay up, I don't want to go to bed. Same thing with adults. The amount of women who are sleep deprived because they're just actually not going up. Facebook is not going to solve your insomnia problems, people. And sleep is one of the best, absolute best ways to actually help to regulate your stress levels. And most of us aren't doing it. We're staying up way too darn late. I call people out on this shit all the time. I'm a huge fan of yoga. I'm a huge fan of yoga nidra, meditation, all those things. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that I'm an avid meditator. And there's reason for it because it actually really does help my stress levels. So stress is a big one. Digestion's a really huge one. As I mentioned, water, probiotics, vitamin C. Bone broth. Bone broth is phenomenal. But if you ever make bone broth, please, 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 for the love of God, boil your bones first because they have impurities on them and they will irritate the gut and make your bone broth taste ranky. So do that. Once you're done boiling them for 20 minutes, throw them into your crock pot, and then you can roast them first, actually, even to give a nice little flavor to it, but then put them in your crock pot and put some water, onions, garlic, all antihistamine foods, and get her done. So those are a really big one. Melissa says, Deep Immune saved me and my husband from the nasty bugs this winter, not when virus got our immune. So this is phenomenal. So I love Deep Immune for allergies from St. Francis. As I mentioned, it has some incredible immune boosting herbs because the immune system is compromised, because the majority of it is located in your gut. So we go back to gut health, obviously. And it has a lot of homeopathic elements in here as well, which make it such a beautiful formulation. Okay, it could be hidden stress. I don't know what you mean, Guadalupe. Thank you so much for doing research on PCOS. You were giving me so many answers and hope. Awesome. Is Deep Immune safe to take a few weeks before surgery? Yeah, the thing that you want to be careful with surgery are really blood thinners. Those are the big ones. If you put your palm behind your products, it'll show up better on camera. Oh, seriously? Let's try that. Wait. Still not working. Okay. Anyways, we got that. Another food perspective here. Did you guys know olive oil? It's a huge one. And the reason why that I say olive oil, and I just want to double check something real quick. There we go. I want to make sure I don't lose you guys because that would really suck. Okay. So olive oil is a really big one. Olive oil is phenomenal because you want to make sure, because it actually helps to increase an enzyme called DAO. And DAO actually helps to eat away at histamine. So you want to get an olive oil that is a dark bottle, like this one here. Olive oil is like a really nasty industry. There are some olive oils that are cut with soy and canola oil. There are some that are actually dyed green. Dyed green. Like, who the heck wants to have olive oil that is dyed green? Just bad stuff all around. And it's dyed green with like chlorophyll. So you want to get dark bottle, organic. I love Acropolis. Can you see that? There we go. I'll turn it this way. So Acropolis Organics, amazing, amazing, amazing olive oil. So when you're looking in stores, guys, especially Canadians, check them out. They're phenomenal. And they have a very high polyphenol count, which is what you really want to look for with an olive oil. And that actually helps to increase that enzyme that eats away at inflammation. I'm going to quickly double check my power source. I don't mean to leave you guys hanging here, but I do want to make sure that I don't lose you either. Okay, I think we are good. Yes, we are good. All right. Okay, so we spoke about that. What happens, and this is the last thing, what actually happens if you are super congested? How do you actually decrease the actual congestion in your nose? Because, I mean, let's face it, when you try to sit there and you're trying to like, yes, and I have socks in my hand, you're trying to actually get all the congestion out of your nose, what do? The sock trick. This is amazing if you even have a cold and you're super congested. And yes, these are my husband's socks. It's laundry day, so bear with me. All right. Okay, socks. Anyone else think this is totally bizarre? Anyone? Because I know it's the weirdest thing ever. But we're going to do the sock trick. All right, so bowl of ice cold water. Bowl of ice cold water. And yes, Jean, everyone's laughing at me. I'm going to do this in front of you guys on camera. This is the dedication I have to SFT TV. And if you love me right now, you will share this live stream because I'm about to put the most freezing ass socks on my feet ever. Oh, it's gonna be so bad. Ah. Okay, so you squeeze out. Share this. Share this if you love me. Okay, oh my God, it's so cold on my hands. Oh, sweet Mother Mary Joseph on a popsicle stick. Okay. Ice cold socks. You see them? Remind me not to wear tight jeans for this. Okay. See? Foot. Okay. I gotta prep myself for this shit. Okay, 1 second. I gotta prep. Okay. All right, I got this. Okay, I got this. Brace myself. All right. All right. Okay. Oh, sweet Mother Mary Joseph. Okay. Do the other one. Gotta make sure it's balanced. Okay. Oh, God. Okay. Cold socks. On. Oh, shit. Okay. And then you're gonna get wool socks. Also my husband's. Okay. And you're gonna throw these on top. Okay. Instant fucking relief. Oh, sweet God. Okay. Oh, Mother God. Okay, instant relief. Okay. I'm gonna back this shit up. Why are we doing this? Why did I do that? What the hell does that have to do with sinuses? Right? Why did I just do that? Oh, I'm almost out of breath. That was like intense. Okay. Go, Melissa, go. Love it. Okay, thank you for sharing, guys. I really appreciate that. Okay, so the reason why I did it. You're going to see right here. Okay? The reason why that I actually put those socks on is because when you put on the cold socks, what ends up happening is your feet are super cold, okay? And when you put on the wool socks, that pain of freezingness actually ends up warming it instantly. What's happening is there's hydrotherapy happening to your feet. If you've ever had hydrotherapy done, it's the alternation between hot and cold, okay? So by putting on these socks, you're doing hydrotherapy for the feet, which means that you're creating a pump at the base of your feet. So what that does is it helps to draw down any sort of congestion, and within 20 to 30 minutes, the congestion, if not will be gone, it will be absolutely incredibly minimized. You're welcome. I just did did all of that on camera, just for you, and you. All right? Because I love you guys. Whew, yes, and it decongest them really, really, really well. Are you freaking my dog out? I think he's used to it. Look at him. Look at him go. Okay, you're crazy, mama. Totally. So, can it help with sinus headaches too? I don't see why it wouldn't. Try it with sinus headaches. At the end of the day, it helps to actually draw that down. If you can do this on your kids, if they'll let you, when they're feeling super stuffed up, it really, 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 really helps. Ha, we love you too. Thanks, guys. Could putting your feet in a cold bath work the same, or use a shower head on cold feet? It can, but you have to go from alternation between cold and hot. And the wool socks actually help to bring that warmth in immediately. So really, really, really important. Okay, guys, I've got cold socks on my feet, wool socks over top of it. I'm rocking out here, and I am going to do a giveaway. Are you guys excited for this giveaway? And by the way, if you haven't checked out yet, up above, there is a link. I'm actually going to post this right over here, right now. Okay. Actually put down below. But this link actually is a clickable link in the description of this post for this live stream. But I am doing a free hormone masterclass. Okay, those people who are my ballers, who are already in my paid program, this is stuff you probably already know. But for those of you guys who are not a part of Sexy Lady Balls and you've not ever checked out one of my free masterclasses on hormones and you've loved this info, then you got to make sure that you click that link and register, please and thank you, because of the fact that it is going to be out of this world. I'm going to be talking about everything from PMS, PMDD, ovarian cysts, PCOS, fibroids, endo, peri-menopause, menopause, irregular periods, increasing your chances of conception, early hysterectomies, and the number one thing that practitioners and patients alike always forget about. So you want to make sure that you join in. Seats are limited. We've already opened up the doors for it, and we are like always at capacity. And people end up getting turned away. So make sure that you click on this link. Actually, it's probably up above. The clickable link isn't up above. Go do that absolutely right now. So for those of you guys who are ballers, again, you don't have to come to this masterclass, but for those of you guys who are not a baller, please make sure that you check this out. It will absolutely change your world and rock it. All right, so I'm going to keep this up here, but I do want to be able to do a giveaway. Are you guys ready for a giveaway? Because I am giving away... Amy, I'm trying to do your trick. It ain't working, girl. St. Francis Deep Immune. Totally trying. Anyways, I'd like to do a Deep Immune giveaway. If you are totally up for that and you'd love to have a bottle of this stuff, please say, hell yes, right now in the description. Pronto, give it up. Put it down. I'm saying it has too much light. I need a lot of light for my live streams, Erica. It is what it is. Okay, so if you have not said yes, everyone's saying yes. Okay, sweet. Everyone's given hearts, which is great. But if you have not done so yet, you need to share this live stream, because if you haven't shared this live stream, here's the bag. You can't be eligible to win. So I need you to share it. So make sure that you do that right away, okay? So share this right now. Okay, so I'm going to be asking you a skill testing question. Are you completely up for it? Which means you had to have been listening to this live stream. Okay? So I'm going to be asking that question, but I need you guys to seriously share this right now. Who here has shared? If you've shared, write down shared right now. Because only if I see that, that's when the people are shared twice. Awesome. Okay, so Kim has, Erica has, Christina has, a bunch of y'all, Tana has, so a bunch of you guys have shared this. Sweet. Fiza, thank you, girlfriend, my fellow baller. I'm already noticing some of the ballers in here, which is awesome. Okay, Jennifer, of course you share because you're awesome. And Anita has as well. Okay, so has Candace. Thank you. So make sure that you do that. So if you have not shared and you get this question right, I can't give this product to you, okay? That's the dealio with this. All right. Here's the question. Name the two places other than the bowels that histamine is produced in the body. The two other areas in the body that histamine is produced other than the bowels. If you can do that. Okay, so a bunch of people have shared. Thank you so much, everyone. All right. So this is a skill testing question, which means you had to be listening. I want to see who actually gets this, because it's a bit of a tougher question. All right. No, not liver and colon. So other than the digestive system, there's two other places. Ovaries and gut. So close. So close. Not liver and colon. So Karen, you're half right. Not adrenals and ovaries. Ah, you guys are so close. So ovaries is one of them. I'm going to give you one. What is the other place? Ovaries and... Come on, guys. I'm spoon feeding this to you. No, it's not gut. It's not liver, guys. I promise you that. Yes! Colette got it right. Oh, wait. Overview. No, it's not overview. Wait, it's not overview. It's not overview. It's not overview. I need the right, and I don't care if it's spell check or not. Ovaries and what? Not the liver, not the kidneys. Oh my God. You guys are crushing it. Come on. Come on. No, not the brain. Ovaries and what? Write it down. Nope. Oh my God. I picked a hard one, didn't I? Not kidney. Oh my God. I'm trying so hard here. I still want to give you, not gut and liver. Stop saying gut and liver. Ovaries and uterus. Karen got it right. Bam. So, Karen Court, my fellow Torontonian in the beautiful Toronto, the beautiful Karen, has won. So do me a favor, if you could actually email my assistant, who you know her email address, obviously. It's assistant@sexyfoodtherapy.com. So just email assistant@sexyfoodtherapy.com, Karen, and let her know that you won the SFT TV giveaway. And yeah, and she will make sure that our friends at St. Francis send this out. So please, if everyone can just give a little love to Karen and just said that and just give her some love, that would be freaking awesome. Okay, a bunch of people are getting upset here. I said it before her. I don't see it. I'm looking at this. I'll go up. I'll check it. But I don't see it. All right. I don't see it, guys. I'm like scrolling through it all. So give her a lot of hearts, guys, and let her know that we have her, congratulate her as much as humanly possible. Okay, yeah, I don't see it here. Okay, I actually don't see it. Yeah, oops, spelled your, okay, yeah. I'm sorry, I don't see it here. And I don't want to go through a bunch of them to try to prove it. But anyways, Karen Court, you won. Don't get upset, guys, if you haven't won. I do these SFT TVs every single week, and there's always going to be something awesome to give away. So stay tuned for the next episode. It was wonderful having you guys listen in. If you have not done so yet, please make sure to join my free broadcast, my free masterclass on how to master and slay those hormones right into balance. So make sure you do that. Seats are limited, and I hope to see you guys then. Give me loads of love, loads and loads of love, please, please, please. And no fighting here, guys. Be all kind. We're all adults here, and you guys got tons of great info, and there's always room to be able to win more products. So let's just all give some love. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Have yourselves a wonderful, wonderful night. And I will see you next Thursday. Next Thursday, I'm going to be interviewing Natasha Trenev, and we are going to be talking about fibroids. So if you are someone who suffers with fibroids, you're going to want to make sure that you tune in, because we're talking all about gut health, probiotics, and fibroids. It's going to be an incredible live stream. All right, guys. Mwah. Love ya. Bye.